Ever since the payment bank model was envisaged in the year 2015, the business model has been viewed with a lot of skepticism by experts. However, where some failed and others continue to struggle right up to this day, one entity has emerged as quite the dark horse: the recently listed Fino Payments Bank. Fino started its operations in the year June 27, and within 3 years, it became profitable in Q4 FY20. And since then, there has been no looking back for this fintech. Fino became the only standalone profitable payments bank in the country, recording an ROE of 14.5% in FY21 and 20% in Q2 FY22. Quite an achievement there, given the challenges specifically around this model. So, today, to understand what makes Fino set new benchmarks while others are still looking for answers, is Mr. Ketan Merchant, Chief Financial Officer of Fino Payments Bank. Hello, Mr. Ketan, and great to have you here with us.
My pleasure to be here.
Absolutely, sir. So, Mr. Merchant, the first profitable payments bank, 7 consecutive quarters of profits, continuous revenue growth. So, what are the three things, according to you, that Fino is doing right?
We are the flag barriers of profitability of the payment bank as well. So let me. I think we need to understand the genesis of Fino Payments Bank before we go into the three reasons. Okay, whilst the bank has been set up in 2017, and this is our fifth year, or we just on the verge of completion of fifth year, but the company as a whole is into this since 2006 and 7. So I think that is the kind of expertise which we have in this space, and we were the only non-corporate house who got the payment bank license. As regards to our journey since the inception of the bank, yes, three things which we have done right is keeping an asset light model. I think the crux out here in a payment bank model is how can you control your cost, how do you have lower fixed cost, and that is what we've been able to manage it off. Second aspect which we've done is, in the fintech space where we operate, we have not only focused on growth, we've also focused on profitability. I think that is something which is very unique to us. We had very clear targets. We will grow. We will grow in rapid scale, and I'll give you some numbers later. But we will also maintain, or we'll also have a target of profitability. And the third one essentially is innovation. I think in this space, one of the reasons which you just mentioned, people came and people left, big houses coming and going. Why have we been able to flourish or grow is because with technology innovation at the core is something which we have built our model itself. So I think this is how I classify how it is. I think we call a principle of DTP, distribution, technology, and partnership. We work through a distribution model. Unlike a very conventional bank, we do not operate through branches. Whilst we have branches, but those are more representative offices in our districts and regions. We
Mhm.
operate through around 800,000 or 8 lakh merchants, whom we make banking point.
All
And
right.
those merchants are the ones who actually serve as a mini branch without any cost to us. The way it works is they earn, we earn. Anyone coming to a merchant point, he will be able to do a banking services. So that is the D part of DTP. 8 lakh merchants, as at September across for Fino Payments Bank. T is technology. I just mentioned
All
it
right.
of technology, and the core. The way we've done it, we have put innovation, we put technology dovetailing on our distribution, and that is working
Mhm.
seamlessly. And it also helps us to grow faster at a leaner cost. And the third one is partnership. Our philosophy is essentially very simple. If you can partner with someone, why do you want to go through the grind again? It is about
Mhm.
partnership in terms of selling their products. It is leveraging our distribution, whether it's we operate through 11,000 BPCL petrol pumps as well, and stuff.
All right.
So that is how we have, in my lens, that's the differentiator which we have attempted to do over last 3 years. And as you rightly said, this is the model which has made us profitable on a consistent basis over last 7 to 8 quarters.
So, with no precedence, how should one evaluate a payments bank's performance? And where does Fino Payments Bank stand on these parameters?
The first is, as I said, it's unconventional model. It's not a balance sheet based model. We are a bank. We have regulatory license. However, it's not about balance sheet. It's not about making money on float. Whilst we do make money on NII on float as well, but the
Mhm.
key essentially out here is fee-based income. 97% of our income, is fee-based. If I just give some statistics, as at September, if I just annualize, September 21 numbers, our revenue would be in the range of INR 100,000 crores plus. So if
Mhm.
I do that, 97% of that is coming from fee-based income. So for if you ask me what should be the lens where a payment bank should be adjusted is one
Mhm.
is volumes. Volumes is how many people are transacting on your platform, how wide is your platform, how convenient is your platform across. So volume is a very important aspect. Second is the model. Now, model, when I say out here, is how will it generate profitability along with the growth in transactions. So,
Mhm.
the business model or the profitability model, volume. Third one, which I said, was innovation and how we are essentially growing through innovation, keeping cognizance of the bottom line as well, and what is our target audience. I think that is very important. That which segment are we looking at, or for that matter, payment bank is looking at. So if you ask me, these are the four metrics where we would want payment bank lens to be looked at by external world. Currently, on a if I just again annualize September numbers,
Mhm.
our throughput would be 1.75 lakh crores. That's
All right.
that's annualized throughput. So that's
Truly
something.
remarkable. All right.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a volume based business,
Mhm.
and over last couple of years, if I just take a CAGR of 2 years, including COVID, our throughput has increased on a CAGR of 71%, including a
All right.
COVID year. A COVID impacted year 2021. Our
Mhm.
CAGR or rather our growth rate in throughput was around 41%. That's the kind of growth which we've seen. See, what is
Okay.
happening is it is important that people are looking at convenience. It's about alternate banking channel, as we call it as ABC.
Mhm.
If you get banking and if you get everything across from your neighborhood mom and pop shop, from your kirana shop, from your chemist shop, why would anyone want to travel a couple of kilometers to go to the bank? And I'm here putting a tier 3 city or a rural India as well, where it is not as simple to get the ATMs and the banking in vicinity. So I think that's what we have essentially done, and that is the reason of the volumes which I just said what they are. Profitability model, oh, very interesting, and this is my favorite one as well. How are we different? Because we measure ourselves on profitability. You mentioned earlier that ROE of 14% or last year, this year we are looking at somewhere in the range of 20%. So our matrix is how do you make a lean model? You Every product which we launch, there are only two things which we look at. One is the growth potential and how technologically, how can we leverage our technology platform. The other one is ROE. So I think that is something which is very important from a long-term sustainability perspective. How are we doing that? Third one is innovation. I had mentioned earlier, we have been pioneers of certain innovative product in financial services. To name across, it's like a micro ATM. So this is a micro ATM, and this does the function of an ATM, and this is our we pioneered this off. So technology is the core. Whatever we can do through ATM can be done by this as well. The cost of this is INR 4,000 vis-a-vis a cost of ATM, which is in the range of around 400,000 or 500,000. So that's how technology or innovation is something which is a very important aspect for us. And the third one is we will keep on providing services where no one else can. Fino is there. We have 8 lakh merchants. We are expanding as we speak. We intend to expand more. We have 1,000 merchants added daily into our network, and that's how we will go through. So this is the some of our parameters which differentiates Fino vis-a-vis the rest of the market, is my understanding.
So you spoke about technology and innovation being at the core of every decision, but all these have cost implications. And in any case, customer acquisition and retention is expensive. So how is Fino managing costs without impacting business?
That's a good one again, and the answer of that lies in the business model or the operating model which we have essentially
Mhm.
made. Let me just give you some statistics. For us, if 71% of our operating costs are variable in nature. When I say variable in nature, is essentially, we incur cost only when there is a transaction which happens. So what we have done is we variabilize our model completely. The fixed cost or the overheads are essentially very, very limited. Okay, so that is one aspect which we've done. You touched upon customer acquisition and retention as well. My sense out here is the model which we've built up, and this is very interesting, whether it's the customer accounts or whether it's the distribution point or the merchant point, as we say. For us, we do not incur cost. Yes, we do not incur cost. In fact, it's a PAT positive model. So unlike some of the players who are, where this cost becomes very expensive, and the break even comes after 2 years or 3 years. In our case, it is upfront. It is
Mhm.
we whether it's customer acquisition or whether it's merchant acquisition, we end up getting money out of this, and that's our strategy. And why does it happen? It is important that why we are different. For us,
Mhm.
if we just go to merchant acquisition, most of the players, when they say merchant acquisition, it is about putting a QR code, etc. But for
Correct.
us, a merchant acquisition is an opportunity given to the merchant to augment his income. So he tends to earn after becoming our merchant, and our model is such that whatever transaction happens, through the merchant, we end up sharing the fees which comes to us. So for that, he is willing to pay as well as an onboarding fees, and thereafter, more importantly, he gets a monthly annuity income coming from the transaction.
All
So
right.
for us, it is all about driving growth and profitability. I just mentioned about the growth, which are in the earlier point which you had said as well.
Mhm. All right, great. So, my last question to you, Mr. Ketan, is that you recently had an IPO. So, with the funds in hand, what are the growth plans that Fino has looking at the years coming ahead?
That's interesting one. Yes, we just completed the IPO. In IPO also we had a 1,200 crore IPO, of which around 900 crore was OFS, wherein the holdco company had made exit, and we've mobilized INR 300 crores for
Mhm.
the future business growth as well. How do we go about it from here on? Okay, our growth plans are ambitious. As I said, CASA, which is our current and savings account, is
Correct.
our subscription based product which we look. So
Mhm.
that is something which we are essentially expecting it to grow. How will we grow it off? There are the primary investment or primary utilization of funds will be on digital. We
Mhm.
have a digital platform, and we are enhancing it off, because Ruchira, we're cognizant that we are operating into 600 to 700 million middle segment of India, wherein
Okay.
they are increasingly going towards digital. So whilst we have our distribution points, we have a digital platform.
Mhm.
Our intent is to further enhance the digital experience, okay, and get more and more people currently who are on feature phone, to in a
More.
manner, in a transition
Mhm.
journey, to come into the digital mode as well. And so that's what we are looking at. One more aspect which we'll be looking at more is in terms of slightly more branding and marketing. We've reached it was a conscious call that once we
Mhm.
reach a particular level, we reach 1,000 crore, then we will enhance our branding and marketing as well. So from a growth perspective, we are
Mhm.
having a growth potential of anywhere in the range of 30-35% on an annualized basis, and
All
we
right.
will use digital technology and marketing for fueling our growth, specifically in high margin products like current and savings account.
All right. So, wishing you all the very best for your future endeavors. And that was Mr. Ketan Merchant, Chief Financial Officer of Fino Payments Bank, which is going forward with a clearly digital first approach. So, thank you all for watching. And thank you, Mr. Merchant, for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.